Well, hello everyone. It's Tuesday, the 12th of August, and I'm here for a little visit. 7 in the morning. Cheers. I recently saw some pictures of Terry Reid, who passed away, rest in peace, with a lot of other artists who love and regarded him. And I gave him regard, but I really didn't like his records. But I noticed a picture of him with Peter Green, the former guitarist with Fleetwood Mac, in their older years, and it was in a way comforting to see that Peter Green's mouth was just as fucked up as mine. Of course, I do realize that there's a lot of people in real life who have bad teeth, and a lot of people who have dentures and don't have any teeth. So that's just life, isn't it? Cheers. I was thinking about it yesterday because Jenny gave me some food, but one of the treats that she gave me was like this. Um, she gave me some brownies, but she gave me this other stuff that was full of nuts, and I couldn't eat it. I liquefied it as much as I could, but I couldn't chew it. Cheers, people. I can laugh at myself because I accept myself, and I sincerely, that's really what I'm thinking about this morning. I do hope that folks are being okay with yourselves because these are bleak times. I gotta speak on some of the current events. It's really sad that the president is calling the army out on his own people. He's going to run the homeless people out of town as though that's some sort of response or some sort of answer to the problem. It's sad, people. Also has a lot to do with why I'm fine with sticking close to home. Every time it looks like it's time for mass shootings again, huh? So, in the comments, Bluger, B. Luger. I don't know if it's supposed to be Bluger or what, but he said, I think it's a he. It feels like the person is male. I don't know that. I like this his comment. I'm waiting for my comments to show so I can read it. He said, magical music. I don't know how you do it. Always different, but always sounds like you. Awesome. Thank you. Someone else mentioned that they thought that it had a 4AD feel. Thank you, folks. I love those compliments. The way that it happens, B. Luger, is that I don't binge watch television, and a lot of people of all ages spend countless hours binge watching the screen. Not me. I might be in front of the screen, but I'll be working, I'll be doing something. So, consequently, yesterday, leisurely day, played some music, but what did it do? It sparked an idea. So I had started another new track yesterday. Um, I love it. I love it. I do. I'm not a believer. I'm through with the whole idea that you have to believe in something. But when I was a kid, raised in the church, the idea of prayer made sense to me and makes sense to me. Not the idea that I'm praying to someone like I used to, but the idea that prayer is an act of intention, of conscious focus. So I still like the word. And what I'm trying to say is one of the strongest prayers I had as a boy of what I would like to achieve in my life was to be able to make original music that's good. And that prayer has been answered. So every time I make music or every time a new idea gets started, it's a gift, but it's also work. Like, for example, yesterday I was listening to Underworld, the band that they're perfect for raves, techno, electronic. Their beats are incredibly good. So I was watching them for a few minutes, an old clip from Pink Pop Festival in the 90s. And when the beat hit the audience, it was like it brought tears to my eyes. It was so powerful. The joy of the release. And I just said, I don't want to do that, but let me see if I can make a beat let me see if I can get that beat. Not their beat, but the idea of a beat that makes you want to. And so I worked on that yesterday. Now, consequently, once I got started, I had to stop because it's like, oh, here we go again. Because, like I say, it's a gift and it's work. And sure enough, I ended the night, working on it to the point where it's like, okay, I have to stop. I'll come back to this tomorrow because it's like more and more kept coming, ideas. So here I am. Could work. Tomorrow morning I'm meeting. Hey, Otis, Douglas. Hey, Mike. Hello, all of you folks who watch me every day. All of you folks. Tomorrow morning I'm meeting with Otis. But I heard from Blake, where I was telling Blake last time I saw him, I'm just going to wait till the fall to even approach working with me on the Muse 2. Here he comes saying, hey, you said the fall, but what about tomorrow? And I said, I'm sorry, I'm busy tomorrow morning, not all day, but morning is the best time for me for working with other people. Unlike a lot of times you can end up in the studio in the nighttime. But I like morning energy much better. I really do. Well, I like Blake's energy, so I can't see him tomorrow. He said, well, what about Thursday? Oh, that's nice. Well, let's see. Okay. All right. So I did play some records yesterday. Good to hear from the mailman. I love sharing, talking about music I like. And it's not typical. I watch other channels. Like I just recently watched a little bit of Lavelle Carter and I don't watch him regularly. What's his name? He wears a hat. But they had in Chicago, a bunch of VC members met up and went shopping together. That's heartwarming. If I were in Chicago, would I have liked to have been invited and joined? Sure, I'd love to do things like that. Last time I was at a record show, it didn't occur to me until afterwards to do something like that, to gather the people that I was running into who there's a VC connection to take a picture. It occurred too late. But I love seeing that the community, and the way that people share their love of music and buying records is real. I think that's wonderful. So that's part of the joy of just coming on here most every morning and talking a little bit about music and records. So here's what got played yesterday, because I could dip in here and try to go into particular veins, and sometimes I do, but mostly it works best to just off the top of my head and what was happening recently and what did I play. So here we go. Ultravox, Rage in Eden. Part of what I like about this record is that it's pop, and they were having commercial success, but Midge Ure, the leader of the band after John Fox left, kept the box open as far as let's try things. He was really into electronics and the advent of that. And so let's do things. So, like, for example, one of my favorite tracks on this album, well, two of them, Accent on Youth, but especially The Thin Wall. And as I listen to it, I'm thinking to myself, that electronic percussive beat that can be achieved with a sequencer is probably on this album being played in real time by, I think his name is Warren Kahn, the drummer. I bet that's him playing electronic percussion all the way through. That's pretty damn cool. It's a really good album. And I still like the recording of it. Who was it? Connie Plank? Yeah, Connie Plank. Reminds me that when I toured Europe and played in Germany several times at a private party, I got to meet the guy who bought Connie Plank's studio. Dieter Dirks? No, Connie, because Connie's the one that did all the recorded a bunch of if I got it wrong, someone will correct me. I think the guy bought Connie Plank's studio because he shared how he found behind one of the tape consoles an unreleased full version of Autobahn by Kraftwerk. It still hasn't been released. That was a fun memory. That was a fun party. I'm not much for parties. I like meeting people. I like talking to people, and that's why that party stands out, was because I had some good conversations. I wasn't chasing tail. I like tail like everybody else, but it's sex is a headache. It's not my focus. So that reminds me, I don't mind talking and just saying exactly what's going on with me, because, like I said, I'm 70 years old, and I have earned the right to just sit on my ass and do very little. So I try to watch movies and TV. I started watching a documentary on the Japanese visual artist Yayoi Kusama. I think I got her name right. The dot lady. And I had to stop watching after a while because it's so depressing. The sexism that she went against through her whole life. She would do exhibits and it'd be something no one's ever done before. And the next thing you know, all the other big male names like Andy Warhol and William de Kooning steal her ideas and they get all the acclaim. It was depressing. So I went back to music, where I get to decide what's going on. And of all things, it was time for some Meshuggah. I love me some Meshuggah. Nothing. I got turned on to the band when I saw the video for their song off of Obscene. The one where the guy is the cover with the kind of Buddha figure with bloody hands. Is that right? The video is very arresting, but what I was hearing was even more arresting. So I love this band. It's a reissue, beautiful vinyl, good cut. Man, the thing that I find interesting about Meshuggah's rhythms is I hear the funk And the thing is, I know that the drummer Thomas Hawk, that's why he's doing it. He's feeling these beats. You know, it's like you can practically dance to them. Except the music is so compelling and so heavy. Um, and the singer Jens was a drummer. He was originally the drummer, and that shows in the phrasing of the music and the way he sings. It's all very tight, percussive. And I hate the way that the camera does that with the color. But Meshuggah is exceptional, and I don't care for bands looking for. I don't care for the idea of looking for bands that sound like Meshuggah. That's not the point. If something's good, it's good. Like, for example, here in the comments, most recent comment this morning, or one of them is, where is it? Yeah, the person asked or said, yeah, they're talking about Pelican and asking, Pelican's style is stoner rock? And my response was to Tank 66, I don't know, it's just good. They also said they love my new tracks, could be soundtrack nature documentary. Thank you. Yeah, my music could be used for soundtracks. Some it could. But the idea of, it I know it works against me that I don't define myself by genre. I don't know what genre I'm in. Because I don't care. But that works against me as far as um, promoting the music, because people want to know, what style is your music? Oh, I don't know. It's just good. But that's really that's my point of view. Is it's not about genre. It's about good. And once you've defined it, what does that do for you? Sometimes I think it takes away from the beauty of just hearing the music just as it is. I don't think a Pelican is stoner rock. The term stoner rock makes me immediately think of something like Caius or Sleep. But for me, the music is the most important thing. Okay, so I actually listened to a fair amount yesterday besides working, because I don't watch TV. Um, I'll see the latest videos of the day, new music videos, but I don't watch, and so a little bit of news. So, Zamla Mama's Mana. They were called Samla originally. Again, if I get any information wrong, you folks will let me know. But apparently, after the original guitar player Lars Halmer left the band and Kostea Petria joined, they changed the name because the sound changed, and it did. I've got most of the records on CD. This is definitely influenced by Frank Zappa's style of writing, although it doesn't sound like Zappa, but you'll hear that. A very lively, slightly humorous air to everything. Deft playing. Familia Spricor. I think it's something family something. On the Silence label. Excellent album. I've been thinking about this because their records are recorded so well, including the live records, which is kind of mind-blowing. So it's like, yeah, it's time to pop this one and see. And sure enough, this just shines. I love these people's music and their approach, their aesthetic. I share it, like the latest song that I shared yesterday that I'm working on. It's not done yet. It is in a vein similar to, it's got an sophisticated, I struggle for words, but it's like it has an air of quality. So this live album, Playing in a Room with People, Jensen Barbieri and Karn. Man, I shake my head because it's a way of saying, damn, that's what that means. It means, When I be shaking my head, it's because the music has got me going. I grabbed this when it first came out so I could get the gold vinyl version. Very good, quiet pressing. Their music is wonderful because it takes in aspects of what we call world music. Mostly, I think, a reflection of the background of the players, Mick Karn in particular, but also Richard Barbieri. This is exceptional, unique music that, to me, is outside of genre. I don't know what to call this music. There's ambience involved. It's instrumental. Um, Sometimes it's funky. There's always a subtle percussive focus because of Steve Jansen's drumming. But that's about as far as I can go. It's just damned good. Real good. It was time to hit some more Kraftwerk. And then I'm going to put then an old album I haven't played forever, which was like, wow, man. I don't think they didn't need to remix this album, the one coming up, but this. Kraftwerk remixes. 3-record set where they compile a bunch of different remixes. I like this specifically for the track Aerodynamic and the Expo 2000 remixes. Delightful. I love Kraftwerk. I saw them on their first tour to America doing Autobahn. There was nothing like that at the time. I'd never seen a concert like that before. I'm glad that was history that I experienced. Love me some Kraftwerk. Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull just had a birthday. I hadn't played this in ages, so I said play it. And I don't have my original copy. I bought it when it first came out with my hard-earned money as a kid. Woolery, I almost think I know who this person is or was when I bought this used. Thick as a brick. It's so funny how, I, along with most everyone else, because I was a teenager when this came out, I took it seriously. I completely missed I didn't get the joke. Not being English, the newspaper, and how this is supposed to be, a poke at prog rock, went completely over my head like most people and thought this is a great prog rock album, and it is. And this was recorded beautifully. Man, this sounds good. I know it's been remixed in, I think, more than once. I'm actually curious now to hear a remix because this sounds so good. I don't know what they could have done for it. If any of you Jethro Tull fans watch this, happen to have any of the remixes, and you have a comment about it, leave it. It's like, do you really hear the difference in the remixes? Because that sounds fantastic. It's a great piece of music. I've seen Jethro Tull twice. I saw them on the Passion Play tour, and unless I'm mistaken, they played all of Thick as a Brick. They played it, but I don't think they abridged it. I think they played the whole thing. They're a great band. They are. And I have a Jethro Tull collection, but I've never felt the need to complete it. So there's several records of theirs I don't have. If I see them used and there's nothing else, I'll grab them. I think that's it. I think so, yeah. And for the time being, I'm going to leave records sitting out and around and just try to get used to it because the shelves are just so crammed, and it's like I said, just have to accept it, Piles around, there they are. Good morning, Stephanie. I know you watch this in the morning. Hope things are good out there. This madness in D.C. with The president calling the National Guard out on his own people, on the American people. Well, you know that D.C. is very black, and you know the president is a racist and sexist and hates people, hates black people. And it's so sad that people are so afraid in Washington. Other politicians are so afraid for their jobs, keeping their money, that they don't confront this madman. He's a clear and present danger, to what we thought we had as a democracy, and it's just going on. And just every day, more shit comes down the pike, more madness. We talk about this amongst my family members. It came up between my nephews and my sister yesterday on our group discussion. We're paying attention because, you know, personal freedoms are being taken from us unfairly. People are being worked to the bone. Americans are paying the tariffs, and rich people are continually victimizing poor people. And it's like there's nothing we can do about it. We can't stop it. The shenanigans that have been brought to light because of Jeffrey Epstein's whole saga, has all that mess stopped? Well, it didn't start there. He was just one conduit. Like I said, I had the misfortune of working with victims of Omaha's pimp to the rich, Larry King. So I've experienced with my own two eyes the damage to innocent people and children. I've seen some of the photographs. Just right quick, there's a lot I could say that I don't say because it's still delicate, but when those kids were brought in by the Secret Service to the nurses' station to be locked up in the intensive care for adults, locked away from sight, some materials were in the nurses' station. Among them was a folder or something with some pictures of those kids with adults, some that I recognized. It was traumatizing. I won't say names because people still don't believe it, but I've seen it, actually seen it, okay? That's the furthest I've gone publicly in saying, and there's so much more. It's dangerous. That's why it pisses me off that such a dangerous, sick person is the President of the United States. So yeah, I retreat into my own world of music, art, and creativity. And I don't mind sticking pretty close to home. I don't. Wasn't there another shooting just at Target the other day? Crazy shit. Okay, that was my rant. That was my expressing my concerns. So bring it back to the personal center, which is, in spite of all that madness, I can have a good day. The sun is shining. The temperature is decent this morning. It's not too humid. I have love in my heart. I receive lots of love from all over the world. Not just through this screen, but in real life. So that saves me from being depressed all the time about the state of the world. So do your best, folks, to have a good day and take care of yourselves and be loving to yourselves and everyone. Take care. Yeah, take care.